security position.
Security position. Okay.
Yeah. I was wondering if you'll be interested in having a collaboration with Black Site for the security position. I'm not too sure how we can go through this, but I'd like to take on the role with me and my folks.
Mm,
Is that something that would be possible?
I've heard of your quotes, and that's not how security gets paid around here. Like
Oh no,
everyone
that's
at City
fine.
Hall, they get paid through the government's budget.
That's absolutely fine.
Okay, and you've applied for this position before.
One time before, yes. Quite a while back.
One time under Mayor Marino, one time under Mayor Hazelwood.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, is there anything that they said that I should be aware of?
Once before with Marino, I requested something along with some certain equipment that wasn't really necessarily needed.
Okay.
But I was notified. What the fuck is that? I was being notified of anything regarding that. So, I mean, what is he doing outside? Yeah, maybe a few things I may have said wrong, but I must have not heard myself.
Okay. Kate,
Also
I,
regarding,
I, I will level with you. Do you remember an incident where a government worker was killed?
more brass.
No, Bryce is not dead.
Oh, um, when was this?
At Duke's.
Real you here? I do.
Yes. You were there during that incident, and a
Yes,
government
ma'am.
worker was killed.
Yes, ma'am.
And because of adrenaline, you could not recount any details of that incident.
That is correct.
That is something that we can't have here at City Hall. To have an incident take place and no details can be recounted, a government worker is dead, and there's nothing in the incident report, nothing that can tell us why. We need security that's attentive, logs very detailed notes, and preserves life of every employee in this building because that's what they will be responsible for. Every life of the person that comes through these doors.
They wasn't me. I then was explaining, but that was something else. Not what I was expecting. But all I can say is I have complete regret about that, and I have no intention of causing any harm to anybody. It was not the job I signed up to. That's all I can really say.
even if it wasn't
There-
you, to be able to recount what happened afterward. So even if you weren't directly involved, I saw this happen, I saw that happened. I remember meeting you after that. And I remember you telling me that you never met me before.
You want to hear the full truth?
Yes, I really would.
Would it be possible if we go like somewhere more private? That's okay.
Do you want to go in the courtroom, counsel room, upstairs?
Whatever is more comfortable for you.
Okay, let's go in the counsel room because no one's scheduled to be in there.
And I don't suppose you mind me asking for any food by chance, because I've been starving since
Let's check the break room.
out.
Okay. 2 burgers. There you go. If you need anything more, just let me know.
Appreciate that.
Okay.
So, I was hired by Donnie. Man, it's been that for quite a long time. He hired me for a boxing gig. Just for security, just by outside. My opinion, pretty bad one. Now, I was security for them for quite a bit. Like, yeah, I was a part of their entire family. And I won't lie about that. Not what I was expecting. Yeah, I was in the Carter for, say, about a month. But have I didn't participate in their kind of runs. I just get paid what they tell me to do for any kind of security work, and that's about it. Now, the whole thing with the wishing thing, Donnie nor Tommy Falcone or whoever else was there was not happy about that. Personally, I wanted to ease the situation. I try to save you all the trouble. I knew what they were gonna do. I can feel it. You know, I always feel like their blood pressure rising. But they, obviously my orders weren't as accurate in a way, not very precise.
Detailed.
Yeah, I try to make it very short and brief. Obviously that worked. And so Donnie said to take care of it. Obviously, I hesitated. I didn't want to do anything. But they, you know, sure the different boys did. I tried to stop Tommy. I really did. He's nothing more than just a arrogant, foolish child.
Yeah, someone's dead because they got the wrong idea about a date auction and the wrong
Yeah,
definition of prostitution.
that's right. Well, I did want to give him a the truth, really. But if I did, then hell, my neck would be on the line too. I'll be in the same position as that man did that day. They found out. I can't do anything. Nobody else can do anything. Police can't do anything. I can't do much. Got to hold on for a while. To the point where I'm up to here with my company, I can safely say what I can say. And they can't do nothing.
So you'd be willing to accurately recount what happened that day?
Yes, ma'am.
Because I'll be
Well,
honest with you, the only reason that you've been denied a job here has literally been that incident.
I thought so.
Mayor Hazelwood has said he would rather have two security guards he can trust than a group of security, and he does not know what they're up to.
I hear you on that one.
Because I could remember that day in bits and pieces, and I remember that you were there. I do not remember anything after I hit the ground and then I saw people running away. I don't know what happened to Victor. I couldn't see him by then. But what I do know
Well,
is that it was after a conversation with Donatello that it was Tommy and Lorenzo that walked toward us. And Tommy hit me, so the only assumption left to be made is Lorenzo was for Victor.
Lorenzo was the first striker. Donnie was the person to finish the job.
So he was hit twice.
He was. That same Lorenzo was the first. Donnie was the last. Donnie's already dead. I don't know about Lorenzo. I haven't seen that fella in a while. I really wish I could tell that time. I really did. But I had to be very careful, especially with the place I was in.
It sounds like you were probably in too deep with them. You were connected.
Mm-hmm. That's right. And now it's been quite a long time since I spent my weeks with them. I cut my ties. I cut my connection to those folk. I don't want to deal with that shit no more. I've already been in bad situations since that day. I don't want to continue that. Now, I don't expect forgiveness from you, but I just want to know that I am sorry for what happened.
And you took me to the hospital that night.
I did.
Yeah, because your name wasn't on the report, but I did get a letter stating I was never here. And
That's
according to
correct.
witness testimony, it was a man with gray body armor that dropped me off.
That's right.
Okay. I'm not one to hold grudges. I just want justice for what happened that day. So, if you are willing to give an accurate testimony of what happened that night, there is nothing stopping me from going to Mayor Marino and telling them to like seriously consider your employment. Because that's literally what's been stopping us every time. If an
Tommy
incident
here
happens
is
here, are you going to have the same situation happen where adrenaline takes over and then we don't get a report of what happens here at City Hall? Because what happens within these borders, we're liable for it. Like I said, every life that comes through that door, it's our responsibility. If something goes wrong here, we're under scrutiny.
the mention of adrenaline was a get out of jail free card in my books at that time. It was a lie that I made up just so that they can put it in and I don't get killed by the Carter. That was my excuse. But no, adrenaline didn't take over.
And just so you're aware, if they ask you to recount this story, they're going to ask you from start to finish, every detail. Not just Tommy, Lorenzo, Donatello. They're going to ask you everything. And you'd be willing to testify the whole truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When did you want to do this?
Testimony.
Mm-hmm.
When's best as possible?
From what I know, Eastwood is the detective in charge of the case. So it has to be when Eastwood is on duty. But I would also like to be present for this, as I was told one time before someone was going to take accountability for what happened that night, but they were unwilling to recount the events. That's not taking accountability. The police need to conduct their investigation and they need a whole retelling. And when you obscure details, it leaves room to believe this is not beyond a reasonable doubt.
That's true. As far as I remember, I'm half percent sure that Tommy did serve his time for the double attempted murder.
No, he didn't.
He didn't?
Because,
Huh.
yeah, mine
That's
is
news.
beyond the statute of limitations.
So the time he served is wait, how much time did he serve and what was the charges previously?
He served for the attack at the Vespucci PO.
That's it?
Yes.
What? Okay.
He would not recount the events of what happened that night, so they could not press anything on that charge.
Does Bria know this?
Yes, she's aware.
Huh. Damn. That's news to me. Okay. Well, Donnie already did pay his debt in blood. Mostly all of it. And all that left is Tommy.
Blood's not how we hold accountability in this state. It's...
Yeah.
So yeah, if you're going to be around later, I can contact Eastwood And I can set this up so that way you can give the full accurate recount of what happened.
Feels good. I'm not too sure how long I got, but I'll see how I can put up for.
Oh no, if you can't do it today, that's fine. We can schedule it for a different day.
Okay. Um, I got like 3 hours and a quarter.
So to store.
Yes.
Okay, and I probably got till 2 hours after that. Okay. So if I'm able to get a hold of Detective Eastwood, I will rate you. I already have your PO.
Yeah, sounds good.
And just so you're aware, we don't hire anyone with felonies, so no one in your group has any felonies, correct?
No, ma'am. No felonies at all.
Okay, because when I bring this up to May Marino, if he would like to contract your group, then background checks are required. So this is something that our office would look into.
Yep, that's fine.
Okay. But yeah, I'll look into contacting the sheriff's department and see if I can get a hold of Detective Eastwood.
That's good. I appreciate it.
I appreciate your honesty.
Honesty is the best virtue. That's all I can really say.
Do you want me to let you
What
out
is
of
it?
here?
Yes, please, ma'am.
Oh, what were you gonna ask?
I was gonna say my first pick job was not the best. That's all I can really say till now. It was not my best call.
No, no. Because you did apply here a few times, and I couldn't remember why, but I knew you were lying to me about meeting me before.
Yeah.
Just remember that. You have to be security that we can trust.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you need any more food or water before you left?
I just need to find advantage from the 24/7 be fine.
All right. Yeah. Thank you for your time, Mr. Wilder. We'll be in touch.
I'll see you around.
What's up, Kelly?
Hi, Dana.
Hey, I want you to know it took less than 24 hours before I opened your mail again.
I opened that mail.
Okay, well, I did too. I didn't, obviously, you saw, I mean, I had no idea it was your mail, but I opened it up and saw Kelly.
Okay.
And I thought, oh shit.
It said attention, Deputy Mayor. I don't. Okay.
No,
Okay.
it didn't. No, it didn't. It said, go read it. It said, uh, proposed meeting about governance and regulations of business
From
licenses.
the
And I'm like,
SBA.
well, that's from the SBA. And I was just appointed to write that. So I'm like, this is all me all over.
Oh man.
Yeah. And then I open it up, it says Kelly. But yeah, look, took less than 24 hours. So we definitely need to work out some system better than that because honestly, like I said, I would have opened that every time because of the situation and what it said.
Okay. We'll work on that. Like either it has to say like to the mayor's office or to council. Like we'll read the
Is
subject
it
of the
is it
letter in the body.
is it impossible to get the mayor's mailbox back up in the mayor's office or up in the mayor's office like it was talked about before?
the issue with that is the mayor's office would need their own set of keys, and then we can't access anything else throughout City Hall. Like, they have to add it there. It's
Uh,
easier to add one for the council members, and then they get
yeah,
their own mailbox. And then
yeah,
you keep the mayor working through city because everyone's so accustomed to it. Like, for weeks,
right,
you'll still have people writing to city, and then it's just going in the garbage like anyone who wrote to mayor.
yeah. All right. Well, we do got to come up with something. Because, like I said, again, it was not my intent to read your mail, but from what I read, I did not know it was your mail. Thought it was something pertaining to me.
Well, if you want to talk about something pertaining to you, I just had a talk with Mr. Wilder.
Oh, I know, and I was, I have a, I, you, did you interview him?
He wants the security position, but I'm sick of the obscurity, so I leveled with him and I told him the truth. The
So
reason
what was
that you
his?
cannot be hired here is because of the incident that involved your cousin.
Yeah, because I was going, I was hoping you would, but you told the truth and came out. But I was going to suggest that you ask him, say you were working for a client and you witnessed the client doing something illegal. What would you do?
That's kind of what
And
I did. Do you remember an incident where a government employee died and you were security? Duke's boxing gym? So he did remember. And he was open and honest in that conversation.
so why did he say he didn't come forward?
Because he was very deeply intertwined in that group. So the same way how I didn't want to remember. So they would leave me alone. Still
Yeah,
working
but
with them on a daily basis and not having, I guess, the security that he has now, he was an open target. They would have surrounded him the same way they surrounded us. Because if I remember that day, it was just him working security. It was
no, I
him
don't
and
remember. I wasn't there, so I don't
no, I
remember
said
that
if I
day.
remember that day.
Oh,
Yeah, it was just him and Newgate out front.
yeah. Does question his
Hello?
ethical morality. Hey, sir.
Hello there. Just a quick question. Wait, hold on. I forgot my question. Let me think about it. Oh yeah. So I want to get candy. Where would I get some candy?
Is he saying
Candy?
candy?
Yeah, I need me some candy. You know what I mean? I
Well,
need
I don't know.
candy, like
I don't know about.
lollipops.
I'm not sure about candy, but I know that if you want tasty treats, you can always go to Kelly's Creamery.
No, I can't do there. Um, now how would I go about getting some candy imported?
Well, I guess if you were interested in opening a candy shop, you might want to write the SBA.
SBA?
Yeah, all capital letters.
Got it. And how much do you think, like on average, how much does a new business like cost to start?
No idea.
Anywhere between 5 to 20 grand
Oh,
as a
that's not bad
deposit
at
for your
all.
lease.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just a deposit though. It can go as high as maybe like $100,000 or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I need to gamble some more so I can get like.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
sure that's probably the smartest way right there.
Oh yeah. Now I've already made about 35 grand from the
There you
casino.
go.
It's too easy. It's too easy for me. You know what I mean?
Hey, no, I don't. But
I hope I lose it all, honestly.
well,
All
good
right.
luck.
Thank you. Well, y'all have a fantastic. Who do I mail my letter to again?
SBA, all capital letters.
SBA. Okay. SBA. Okay. Thank you very much. You have a wonderful day.
Uh huh.
See ya.
So, did you manage to meet with Jesse?
Yes. And I wanted to talk about that's why city purview was in there and governance. So how does the mayor's office work? Do we just, answer frequently asked questions like that and point them in the right direction? Do we just work with the council, push legislation, issue business licenses and permits? So that's why I wanted to understand, how do you expect the mayor's office to work in coordination with the other government agencies? Is it a pyramid? Government, governor's office, mayor's office, government agencies? Or do we kind of work together in cohesion similar to a system that the three branches of government have? We're kind of like checks and balances for one another. And it sounds like it's, although they like the foundation metaphor that comes with the pyramid, it sounds like it's the latter. So with Pillbox, you have health and wellness. With LSSD, you have health and safety. And with Mayor's Office, we have health and efficiency. So if any one of these government agencies are not performing up to par, it's our job to get in there and ascertain why. Because the health, the wellness, the safety of the citizens in this city are our responsibility.
Okay. In starting to write up the stuff for the SBA, for the business licenses, the governance and regulations. Every time I get to a part, I wind up having two more questions. Who is going to enforce the regulation of anything that we write up for the business licenses?
That's why the LSSD is part of the executive branch. It's their
Okay.
job to enforce the laws. We help write them
Okay.
there.
So if the LSSD is part of the executive branch, and it's going to be something that is a criminal thing, that means the DOJ will have to be involved,
Yes.
correct?
So
Well-
once you write this up, you bring it to them. I already kind of brought it to George to ask his opinion on it, and he never thought about like varying degrees. So let's say you approach them once. They don't have a business license. You get an infraction, you get a fine. You approach them again. Still no business license. Now it's up to a misdemeanor. And the fine grows. And then it should be one for the alcohol license as well, because distributing alcohol is one thing. Knowingly distributing it to a minor or negligently doing that, that should also be factored in as well.
Here's the problem. I talked to Chief Justice Harris with the same questions that I'm asking you, and he was of the opinion that the DOJ will have nothing to do with it. It's something that should have been instituted federally beforehand. It's not, and it's basically not something that he plans on dealing with everything he's already dealing with.
Well, that's why we're writing. It's literally just something that goes into the penal code with a definition. Same thing as like unauthorized practice of law. You cannot practice law in this state without the appropriate license. The same thing, just make it for a business. You cannot operate a business without the appropriate license. Because right now
Right.
it's something that cannot, I'll talk to him, because it's something that can't be enforced. And
Okay.
he was even
But,
there in the
like-
meeting, and he said, yeah, you do need a law for that. Else, we're just telling people and we're blowing hot air. Because there's literally no teeth behind this. Why do I need a license? Because it's
And-
the law.
And
Where is
here's
it
my
stated?
here's my next question. If I was, if it's my responsibility as a council member to write that bill, why wasn't I invited and asked to this meeting?
Oh no, I was just asking for George's opinion. So
No, I meant
this penal
with
code.
the SBA about the very things that I'm writing.
Oh, I didn't necessarily have a meeting with them about that. I just realized that because I read over the penal code. Yay. So I checked through it and there's no penalty for it. So the SBA says go to City Hall. We're giving you the leases, but you need to have a business license to operate. Where is it listed in the penal code that that is against the law? Nowhere. So there's literally no repercussion, no consequence if you don't have one.
Right.
So that's when I came to the realization this needs to be in the penal code. So the
Well,
same
that's
way
what
they
I
needed hunting regulations.
Honestly, I thought the same thing. That's why when I ran into Chief Harris, I talked to him about that, Chief Justice, and like I said, after his opinion, I thought the best route, because I do have to agree with him. He does have a lot on his plate. So I was thinking maybe we would go at the angle of making it a federal law or something, so we can avoid the DOJ.
It doesn't make sense that it's a federal law.
I don't disagree with you. I'm dealt the cards I'm dealt, and I'm trying to play them the best way I can play them.
I would say just maybe read unauthorized practice of medicine, unauthorized practice of law. Just similar language to what's dictated there, and unauthorized operation of a business or operating without an alcohol license. just the type of crime it is, and then a fine. Because it's going to go through judicial review. This is not something the council needs to vote on, but this is something that needs to be in the penal code. Or else we're telling people they're operating without it. We're informing the police this business is an illegal operation. But is it? Because it's not a crime if there's literally no law against it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I agree 100% with that. Like I said, I just was trying to find the best avenue, or the avenue that's going to actually work and follow through.
Yeah, so you don't have to write up a whole bill or document. I can even give you like my notes and what I was thinking about
Yeah,
because there's like
you
different
got?
degrees.
I've got like half of it. I've got like what I have in mind for, what the general business license is for, what the regulations that I believe should be put in, and I just got to fines and fees and started thinking about who was going to enforce it, and had to stop at that point because, like I said, I was not sure.
Hmm.
Did you get a chance to talk to her about getting the names from the leases?
Go.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
And
So you guys got that all worked out?
yeah, we have a new filing cabinet, and I see leases are being added to that drawer.
Along with the owners of those leases.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
The names are clearly written on each lease. Terms, amount, deposits. It's just not all of them are there yet. Like, I didn't see mine. So, I know that they're still working on it.
Yeah, yeah.
But this is great. It's progress. It's what we wanted. So now when
Oh,
someone
no.
comes to
Listen,
us...
I agree. And
Yeah.
100%. Cool. All right. Well, like I said, I just wanted to let you know that it took me less than 25 hours to break that promise that I wouldn't open your mail again. But I do have a defense.
It was not clear. It wasn't.
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, with Cade, I need to see if I can get in touch with Eastwood. He says he's willing to recount like the whole story.
Yeah. And listen, my question is ethical morality. If he's got his own security company and he's afraid,
No,
that was
this was
my
before he had his own. Because, like I said, at that event, it was him and it was Newgate standing outside. So it was nobody but him. So I'm figuring now, he's got a couple workers behind him. He's feeling a bit more independent. And especially with what happened to their family in like recent weeks. They're very fractured right now, right?
Yeah, actually, I just found out this morning from JJ that are two of those guys dead now?
Two?
I heard two. Donnie
Oh, Don. That's been a long time.
and
Francesca.
Francesco. Yeah.
Yeah, Francesco's recent. Donatello, that's been a while. That's why when they were first getting asked about what happened, who killed your cousin, they blamed it on Donatello solely because he was already dead and you can't charge a dead man.
So there's really, according to what you've told me, like one person who was like actually involved, and he admitted to the crime and didn't have to serve any jail time.
From I explained them the situation. I saw Tommy and Lorenzo talking to Donatello, and he said, "Yeah, Lorenzo struck first, Donatello struck last."
So,
But
here's
at
the
most, it
question.
makes them accessories because they watched this, they knew this, and they lied to the police and they pinned it all on Donatello. So they will still all get it. I just need him to
Yeah.
tell the truth.
Right. And does he believe that he would have a better chance of getting a job working security if he told the truth?
I did not make him promises, but I said I would talk to Mayor Marino because this has literally been your stopgate. You cannot get hired here for the lie that you told in your testimony.
Right. Okay.
So
Sounds
I
good.
told him I'd talk to the mayor, but there's no guarantee. If the mayor still feels uncomfortable, I tried. I appreciate your honesty. I appreciate you helping get accountability for what actually happened that day, because your opposing testimony is literally what contradicted mine and why they couldn't push this.
Yeah. That's why I didn't leave, by the way. I saw you were talking to him, and I was going to make sure I was in the building just in case.
I appreciate it. And after I walked in the room, I locked the door. So if anything did happen to me, there's only one person who could have done it.
And I was coming to check on you because you guys have been there a while, and I got about 3/4 of the way there, and I heard a door unlock.
So yeah, I just need to see if I can get Eastwood. And I told him I want to be there when this is happening. So I have till Storm to see if I can get a detective that can talk to him.
Well, good luck.
I know, because I don't see any detectives around until later.
So anything else going on?
No, that just happened. I'm so shocked that just happened. I did not think that he would confess the truth, but apparently it's a new month, and the A in April stands for accountability.
Okay.
Everyone wants to own up to what they
Yeah.
did.
Yeah. I would say, but yeah, that's actually true.
Mhm. Yeah. So that's I told him, like, the cops need to do their investigation. No one gets charged if you do not give the full retelling. So he's aware. I made sure he knew. You have to tell the whole thing, start to finish. So that's why I wanted to be there, because I will listen. And if you're still lying, then, you're wasting my time. There's nothing that I can tell Mayor Marino.
Yeah. Well, awesome. That's maybe it'll work out for the best.
I mean, let's not get our hopes up. We've already been on this
Oh,
road once.
trust me, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm well over that.
Oh, and also one thing that came up, that's why leases was mentioned there. I got to talk about leases and recent illegal activities
Yeah.
that have now been formally charged. So the SBA will be looking into that charge.
Okay. So did we get clarification about do business owners have to have clean records or
Illegal
just
activities, that's all it states. So
okay?
that's what they're going to look into the charge. And if it's formally filed, someone might be losing their lease because they're in violation.
So that takes care of all the people who already have leases, because if that's in the lease and it's a break of the lease, if you have if you commit a crime, then it doesn't matter if you've already been issued a lease or not, or the business license or not, because it's part of the lease.
I also still think it should, degree should matter.
I agree. I 100% agree.
Yeah.
In fact, in what I wrote up, I geared it towards, like I said, extortion, duress, or fraud
Yeah.
against another business, or any illegal activity that is done within the business confines of the lease property.
Or a violent felony, like attempted murder. There's no getting around that one.
Yeah, honestly, I didn't put that in there just because of all the pushback I got, and I understand what they're coming from, but I can add that back in with no problem.
Yeah, could imagine you are threatening the life of people that are supposed to come into your business and pay you money.
I agree. Like I said, I was the one who wanted to put it in there at first, but after consulting with people like the mayor and hearing the SBA, the governor and lieutenant governor speak, I kind of question whether that's something that should go in, even though I still think it should. But
I think degree and frequency Not for anything like attempted murder, but it's just like if you, I'm gonna use pre again, hit someone with a baseball bat, and you did that back in January. Okay, we can reevaluate. If you shot at somebody, like bullets don't have a name on them. Anyone could have got hit at that post office. That's a whole different situation entirely. And it's
Yep.
very recent. So
Yep.
some kind of suspension, or the ultimate one would be revocation of your lease. That needs to be seriously looked at. You can't. You're on like we know that we have a term limit. This is kind of like probation. It's not
And,
your property yet. You're leasing it.
and did you happen to mention to Jesse that I was writing up something for the regulations and governance, or?
No, because I didn't see it yet.
Oh, you haven't talked to her since that letter's come through.
No.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I when I asked if you had met with her and talked to her, I thought it was along the line since that letter had come in.
Yeah, I met with her once, but I can't tell her about your bill because I haven't seen it.
No,
So if
no,
she asks
no.
me for
That's
specifics, I can't tell you because I've never seen the bill, so I can't talk about it.
well. To be honest with you, just before I looked at that, I sent a letter to the SBA informing them that I was writing up some legislation, or writing up something considering the governance and regulations of business licenses, and requesting a meeting.
Yeah.
That's why when I went back into the city hall mail and saw,
Oh, ours doesn't.
I'm like,
they don't cross
oh
over.
my god,
No.
no, and I'm like, oh my god, this is exactly what I just wrote about. This is me all over.
No, they don't cross
And
over.
then I see Kelly.
You're just like, wow, that's
and I went,
very
holy
fast
shit.
communication.
Well, no. Like I said, I since I was writing it, I'm like, I saw it and I went, oh, cool. She wants to talk about it too. I just assumed it was just a general letter to city that we want to meet and talk about the regulations, and that's so we can get them going. And then I open it up and I see Kelly and I went, well, that's great. It didn't even take 24 hours for me to break my promise. But anyway. Well, that's all I have. What do you got going on today?
I answered Amber's letter about the lifeguards. Dr. Bridges only wants to give them first aid kits, and that's the stopgate that Stephanie Taylor's been running into. So if they only have first aid kits and bandages, they're first aid certified. If you scrape your foot on a rock while surfing, they can get you out of the water. They can stabilize you, get the wound cleaned and wrapped, but they cannot help you back up onto your feet so you can limp away. You need to go to pillbox, but that seems well within the range of what a lifeguard would be able to do, right?
Yeah, I think that sounds very, you should always call, a higher degree medical professional if it takes something more than just a bandage to help them.
Yeah, so that's why I gave two scenarios. If you were surfing and you hit your head on the rock, you're unconscious, you're unresponsive. No, you're not getting someone back up on their feet in that condition. They're clearly not stable. You have pillbox contacted, or you safely transport. That's why she needs the cars. So if this does happen to someone, she can safely get them in the back and get them to pillbox if there's no EMS or they're responding to another call.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they need those medical tools, and if that cannot be supplied, that would be Avenue A, where they become recognized by the Los Santos Health Department, and they're on that board. They work under Director Bridges, but if they cannot get the medical tools that they need, then they need to be full-on established in the Constitution as their own department. And as their own department, Stephanie is the head, she's the director, and if she states they need tools, then this is something that they can reach out. She can reach out to the SBA on behalf of the lifeguards because she is the head of that department. And this is what she needs to run it optimally.
Yeah. Oh, I also have an idea, and I need to know who you would recommend that I should talk to, the mayor's office or the SBA. I'm interested in looking into getting funding for a government vehicle, whether it be a bus or, a 4x4, big truck as a
Why?
voting vehicle. So,
Um,
I don't have to go and get down to the bus station and like use a route bus.
See, I think that is so niche. I'm not sure if that would go because the Nipple Project they want to do it on a weekly basis. Voting is once every couple months, so I'm not sure if that's something they would be open to
Well,
adding
see,
to the
that's
fleet.
well, that's why that said it'd be a good idea because it would just stay in the fleet until it's needed again.
Because I remember when Mayor Hazelwood he originally proposed the fleet, he wanted a limo so for like special events, and they said, yeah, probably not the limo, but the government vehicles, the vans that you would need for events. Like I used one during the egg hunt. Yeah, we can do vans and Greenwoods. But I
Okay.
mean, you're already planning a meeting with the SBA, so doesn't hurt to
Yeah,
just
yeah.
bring
Well,
it
like I
up,
said,
add it in. The worst they can say is
oh,
no.
I am. Oh, I am. Yeah, I need to get a reply first, but I'm in the same boat with a lot of other people, so I understand they're busy.
Yeah, and that's where my letter came in. I want to know like what can the mayor's office do in the meantime? Like, can we field some of those questions?
The only thing I saw as a immediate band-aid um, is to require anybody that wants to uh, to do a event on the on the premises that the lease is. They are required to have a permit. Require that those people to have a permit. But
No, they don't
like
need
I
a
said,
permit.
I know, but that's the only band-aid I could see as far as making sure people had licenses and permits for events, because you have to have a permit to do an event on your property, but you can't get a permit without a license.
But you don't need
So
the permit. What?
that's what I'm
I'm so
saying.
confused.
The only thing that I could see as a temporary stopgap to ensure people get licenses is to pass something to where you need to have, if you want to hold an event on your at your place of business on the leased property, you would have to have
Oh,
a permit, and that way they would have to get a license so they can get a permit. That's the only thing I could think of as an immediate kind of maybe to help people get their encourage people to get their licenses.
okay. So because they have the lease, see that wouldn't work either. Because like for a homeowner, they have to the lease to their house. They don't need a permit to operate at their house.
No, like I said, a business.
Yeah, but why would it be any different from a house? Like you have the lease, you can throw a birthday party at your house. You have the lease, you own the land to this place. As long as you're not
Right,
selling food, that would be the only thing. It's just like, yeah, you
right.
can have a party at Burger Shot, but you can't cook up any food. You're not legally authorized to operate.
But those homes that they lease out are residential. A business license is different than a business lease is different than a residential lease.
But at the end, it's both. A lease just certifies that you're the owner of that property.
Right, but I'm sure the restrictions are different between a business lease and a residential lease.
Well, hopefully, only one you have to go through the SBA and do that probationary period for. I don't know if the homes, if you're gonna go through the SBA for each one of those two.
I don't understand why you would have to go through the Small Business Association for a residential home.
No, I imagine that it would be with Dynasty 8 instead. So you don't know if that's temporary or if,
Yeah,
once you put up the money, you're the outright owner. There's no like lease term, no escrow. It's just, it's yours.
and like
100%
I
fully
said,
yours.
yeah, and I guess what my idea with that was is because as I started writing this, I realized it's something that's not going to be ready to go right away because there is still a lot of questions. Less now that I've talked to you, but I was just thinking of a kind of a stopgap to try until we got something officially in to encourage people to get their business licenses and putting that you must have a permit that you can't get unless you have a business license would be the only way I could think of to get people to get their business licenses.
Oh, so it's just tied in with the license, the ability to host events.
Yeah, for on premises for a business, on their premises.
Oh, so you
Like,
consider an event as like operating the business. Like you had to turn the lights on, right? There's people in here.
yeah, I mean, like I said, if you wanted to have an event at Legion Square, technically you don't have to get a permit for that. But if you wanted to hold an event on your Kelly's Cat Creamery, because it's an operating business, you would need a permit. And if you don't have a license, you can't get a permit. So there's still ways around it, but like I said, I was just trying to think, because this is going to take a little while, what would be a good stopgap measure just to try to get people to get licenses until we get everything instituted.
Okay, we got to make sure we have the justification down as to why they need a license to throw an event on property that they own. Because that was the thing when Tommy asked,
they need a license.
So why do I need a license to...
Because you can't get a permit without a license.
Yeah, that's why we need to make sure we can articulate why.
No, I got you.
Because I was able to explain it to Tommy. It's like renting a car. If you buy the car, no one's going to say, like, that's not your car. You full out own that. But when you rent the car, yes, you have to pay. So it's just like, so why do I have to pay to get the business license to party somewhere that I own? We have to be able to articulate why. So as long as we can think of the wording and the reasoning behind it.
Because we want you to get a business license.
That's
the truth.
Okay, so we're going to have to find another reason.
I know. I got you. I'll think on it. Hello, Miss Chaser.
Hi, Amber. You got my letter about the lifeguards?
Yep, I reached out to Dakota.
Okay. And you caught like a little bit of what I was saying about that? It's either they're on the department, they're under Dakota, or they have to be established as their own department to get the tools.
Yes, I did.
Okay, perfect.
Well, ladies, I'm going to go out and about. You have a wonderful day. I'm sure I'll run into you later.
Okay.
Take care.
I have more lettuce right now. Chief Justice and Detective East. I'll just say Detective. I don't know his rank.